King David was a legend. He had defeated Goliath as a young shepherd. He had been a fierce warrior and a beloved king. He united the tribes of Israel. He established Jerusalem as the capital. But even the greatest kings grow old. David was now very old. His strength had left him. He was frail and weak. He shivered in the cold. His servants struggled to keep him warm. David's declining health created uncertainty. Who would succeed him as king? There was an unspoken tension in the palace. It was a time of whispering and intrigue. Everyone knew a new era was coming. The kingdom needed a new leader. David had many sons, but he had not yet named his heir. This silence created an opportunity for ambition. It opened a door for rivalry and conflict. David's sons, used to privilege and power, saw a chance to claim the throne. The stage was set for a power struggle within the royal family. The question of David's successor became a pressing issue. The future of the kingdom was at stake. Adonijah was one of David's older sons. He was a handsome and charismatic young man. Adonijah was also ambitious and impatient. He believed he should be the next king. He had not waited for David's blessing. Adonijah decided to take matters into his own hands. He gathered support for his claim to the throne. He appealed to those who felt loyal to him. He made alliances with powerful figures. He won over Joab, the commander of the army. He also gained the support of Abiathar, the priest. Adonijah threw a lavish feast. He invited all his brothers. He invited all the royal officials, but he deliberately excluded his half-brother, Solomon. He also did not invite Nathan the prophet or Bathsheba, Solomon's mother. This was a clear challenge to their authority. It was a direct affront to David's wishes. With a display of arrogance, Adonijah declared himself king. He gathered his supporters and paraded through the streets of Jerusalem. He proclaimed his own reign. He acted as if the throne was already his. He believed he had outmaneuvered his rivals. He was confident in his claim to power. However, he had underestimated the loyalty of others to David. He had failed to anticipate their determination to uphold God's plan. The news of Adonijah's actions reached Nathan the prophet. Nathan was a wise and faithful man. He had been a close advisor to King David. He knew that God had chosen Solomon to be the next king. Nathan immediately went to Bathsheba, Solomon's mother. He told her about Adonijah's rebellion. Bathsheba was a woman of great courage and intelligence. She knew she had to act quickly. Together, Nathan and Bathsheba devised a plan. They decided to remind David of his promise. They would confront him with Adonijah's treason. Bathsheba went to David. She reminded him of his promise to make Solomon king. Nathan followed her and confirmed the story. He exposed Adonijah's treachery. David was enraged by Adonijah's betrayal. He was also saddened by his son's ambition. He realized he had to act decisively. David summoned Zadok the priest and Nathan the prophet. He ordered them to anoint Solomon as king immediately. He wanted to secure Solomon's succession before it was too late. David, though weak, showed a flash of his old decisiveness. He was determined to uphold God's will. Following David's command, Zadok and Nathan acted swiftly. They took the horn of oil. This oil was sacred. It was kept in the tabernacle for anointing kings and priests. They went to find Solomon. They found Solomon and brought him to Gihon. This was a spring just outside Jerusalem. There before witnesses, Zadok anointed Solomon as king. They poured the sacred oil over his head. They blew the trumpet to announce the new king. The people shouted, "Long live King Solomon!" Solomon rode back to Jerusalem on the king's mule. This was a symbol of royal authority. This act confirmed his legitimacy. Solomon's supporters rejoiced. They celebrated his ascension to the throne. The city was filled with music and dancing. The people welcomed their new king. The sound of celebration reached Adonijah and his guests. Their feast turned into a scene of panic. The news of Solomon's anointing spread like wildfire. Adonijah's supporters abandoned him. Fearing for his life, he fled to the tabernacle and grasped the horns of the altar, seeking sanctuary. Solomon, now king, showed mercy. He promised Adonijah safety. However, he warned him that any further treachery would be punished. Solomon's reign began with wisdom and restraint. He established his authority with justice and compassion. The story of Solomon's ascension to the throne is more than just a story of political intrigue. It foreshadows the reign of a greater King, Jesus Christ. Like Solomon, Jesus is the chosen son, the anointed one. He inherits a kingdom, but unlike Solomon's earthly kingdom, Jesus' kingdom is eternal. The story of David's succession reminds us that true power comes from God. It highlights the importance of obedience and faithfulness. It foreshadows the reign of a king who embodies perfect justice and enduring peace. This king is Jesus, the ultimate heir to David's throne and the true king of all creation. Are you ready to continue? Just click here and come along with me to the next chapter.